Good morning, guys. Can you hear me? We had 1,000 viewers yesterday. I think that we're gonna have more today. Interesting. Short float 38%. RKT. That's a lot. That is indeed a lot. Alright, I'm gonna eat up my food and I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. Okay, let's see. There are some EP candidates. So RKT is interesting, but they're gonna have negative growth, EPS and revenue growth the next 2 years. So I don't know. Is there a reason for this to go up? I don't know. The high short interest maybe. So it could be an EP, but yeah. Other than that, not much that I'm looking. Mara, perfect rejection. Third day bounce. Or actually, it was the second day bounce. Perfect rejection at the 10 day, and look at it now. Learn this setup, guys. It's a very good shorting setup in the right type of market environment. Riot is down. Yeah, all my shorts are down. GBTC, it's still surfing the 20 day. AMC had a perfect late day fade yesterday. Textbook. Oh, never mind. Tesla is actually gapping up, and Q's also. Never mind. Not all my shorts are down. Some of my shorts are gapping up a bit. And GME also late day, big late day fade. And mRNA looks like it just had a big pop. We'll see. I'm gonna use the 10 day as my. I'm gonna use break even as my stop. Gonna give it some leeway. I'm not really looking at anything. There's some like RKT and maybe DraftKings breaks out on earnings, but I'm not super excited about these things right now. These types of setups, I don't know. Haven't decided yet. Oh, it's not as liquid as I thought it was. Also, to all the new people, follow the instructions on the screen. If you don't, you will get muted, and you will get muted, and you will get muted, and then you get blocked. And you will be sabotaging for everyone else. Seriously, follow the instructions on the screen. To all the new people. And to the old people too. Yeah, I heard it. Well, I heard it was a great interview. I haven't listened to it by myself. Haven't listened to it myself. But apparently it was good, from what I've heard. I don't really remember what I was saying, but apparently people are liking it. Right, good luck everyone. Well, you've been in this stream for at least 30 days since you're able to write in the chat. You should know that I don't talk much in the open because I'm busy trading. Come on, man. How can you miss? How can you not have noticed for the past 30 days? I don't see a lot. I really don't. This is yeah, there's really not much going on. I still think this is a market to be cautious in, not to be aggressive in. We've had almost 12 months of very aggressive markets, easy money, and now, you know, you have to adapt. Easy money is not there yet anymore. For now. Not seeing any setups means you should trade very little, very cautiously. I just don't see any good long or short setups. Maybe a few, but you know, it's just you want to see a lot of setups. If you only see a few, the failure rate is pretty high. Do I consider Macy's a failed breakout yesterday? Did Macy's have a breakout yesterday? It just looks like a random up day. There was not a setup there. So no, it wasn't a failed breakout because there was not a setup. It's just a random day. I do kind of like this Baidu potential on the short side if it loses the 20-day. And NIO if it loses the 100-day, but not sure they're good setups today. They're probably not that good setups today. We'll see. If DraftKings is a setup, sure. That's a nice chart and that earnings. But it's not breaking out yet. Isn't everything a big ARK holding? ARK has grown so big, they have a lot of big holdings. ARK is the market. Yeah. Rig. Well, Yeah, no, I don't see a setup. It's too choppy, but also I think the oil trade, it's that train has sailed. Like oil, the good setups that we've had a lot of, big run in oil the past 2 months. I think the whole sector needs to go sideways for a bit, and this is a little bit of a laggard oil name. So yeah, also put things in context. Like a lot of these oil names look very extended and vulnerable. I wouldn't want to buy a laggard name in any case, personally. Only if like the start showing some type of relative strength. But right now it's just been a laggard. The setup itself isn't too bad. It would be nice if it tightened up, but still, if you put it in context, it's not that great. But if it tightens up, it could be a better setup, obviously. P10. Yeah, P10 broke out last week. That was a good setup. Airbnb showing relative strength. Not sure about that. It's just inside of a range. DraftKings, it's flagging, but it's not really a super explosive type of name. And it had earnings, If it can't break out here, it's never gonna break out. Yeah, this is not the market to be aggressive. We've had like the best markets in 20 years over the past 12 months, and now we're getting a little bit of a hangover. A lot of people realized they weren't as good of a traders as they thought they were, and maybe they shouldn't have quit their day jobs. That's the market phase we are in. Now, obviously, that can change at any time. Everything could pick up again next week. But right now we've seen a lot of these high runners. We've seen them fade 50% in many cases, and some other sectors like Dow Jones was a leading sector for a bit. That's never a good sign when Dow Jones is leading. But everyone in this room is fine, because here we have specific setups and specific rules, and we realize how these cycles work. So that's great. Are ETFs a good way to gauge if a sector is hot? Sure. If you have a sector ETF that's making a big move, obviously that sector is hot. Like for example, I can just look at this XOP ETF to know that the oil sector has been really hot over the past 4 months. And it has. A lot of oil stocks are up 500%. At least the smaller ones, and some of the bigger ones are up maybe 100, 200%. You know, something like MRO, up 170%. P10, up 170%. What more oil names are there? What is this? WLL up 170%. This one looks weird though. Man, I don't even know any oil names anymore. I used to have like 50 oil names in my head, but I've forgotten all of them. I haven't traded oil names in such a long time. Yeah, rig is another one. Now this one is up a lot, 400%. Baidu is losing the 20-day moving average. It's kind of nice of having these slow days. It's kind of exhausting when you, for like 4 months straight, you get this, like a lot of action. You can barely breathe the first 30 minutes after the open. And now we get days like this. It's pretty chill. I'm about to go down and get a Nocco. It disaster struck. I opened the fridge and there were no Noccos in it. So I had to take a few from storage and put it in the fridge. I should have put them in the freezer. So I'm trading without Nocco today. So in case I'm a bit grumpy, you know why. If I reduce my markets, not necessarily. I just do fewer things. That's how I... Right now I haven't reduced my position size yet. But yeah, markets like these, if you keep buying breakouts, you're gonna shop up your account faster than the mass murderer is gonna shop up his victims. And the mass murderer in this scenario is it is the market, and you will be the victim. In case you guys didn't understand the analogy. Trust me on that. I have some experience. I have some experience in this trading game. And once setup starts to emerge again, then we'll get aggressive. Right now, you know, obviously I'm short a few things, also long a couple, but really not doing much. I did do some DraftKings long and Baidu short, but I'm not super excited about either of them. GME, I haven't even looked at it. Yeah, we'll see if it can make a lower high, or if it's gonna reclaim yesterday's at 152 level. What's AMC doing? That AMC had such a perfect fade setup yesterday when it lost VWAP late day. And I have a stock up four days in a row. Big move. Gets tight the whole day and then loses that range. That's a big edge. If you learn and understand this setup, you're gonna make a lot of money. But they don't come around too often. What price did I get costs at? Who are you talking to? I didn't get costs. I haven't traded it in a month. good setups. It depends on what type of setup, but parabolic shorts and breakouts, you've gotten them almost every day over the past 12 months. Best market ever. But this is, I would say, a normal market is more like today and yesterday, where or actually yesterday was really good on the short side, but like today, I just don't see a lot. That's a normal market usually. It's just not much going on. Sometimes there's a bit more going on, but usually it's fairly slow. The ranges are, there's just not this craziness going on. So let's see, DraftKings that I went long is going down, and Baidu that I went short is going down. So far I'm evening myself out today. Yay. Where can you learn more about the overall market clues? Well, experience. Having an open mind and listening to the market. Takes many years. There's no book that can teach you those things. Something you have to do yourself. Riot is a parabolic long. No, it's not a parabolic. No, the parabolic setup. It doesn't matter if it's long or short. It has to be multiple days in a row. It has to be multiple. Now, let's say if these 2 days didn't happen, like if today happened 2 days ago, that I would have considered a parabolic long. But this is just pretty much the stock went sideways for 3 days, and today it's down a little bit. That's not a parabolic long. That's not a parabolic setup. Well, that's what happens when you buy breakouts in a market like this. You take a loss. I did on DraftKings. It wasn't that great of a setup. The only reason I bought it is because it had earnings and it had a possibility of becoming an episodic pivot. But yeah, the market just, the buying is not there. It's just not there. It looks like a lot of my shorts are also starting to fade now from the opening strength. Oh, I forgot about the Fisker. I think they had earnings. I totally forgot about it. Man, I've gotten so sloppy lately. It's unbelievable. I've been playing too much Hearts of Iron 4. But thankfully the market has been very benign, so every time I do something stupid, I get bailed out. But having a position in your portfolio and forgetting that they have earnings, it can bite you in the ass, and it will eventually. If you only have a 5% drawdown right now, that's really good. Because I can tell you, the average Robinhooder probably has a 50% drawdown right now over the past week. Just looking at some of the popular Robinhood stocks. So 5% is great. Now you have to make 5% and you're gonna be even. If you're down 50%, you have to double your account just to get back to even. Do you ever talk about short sell rules? Sure, all the time. Hey guys, I'm gonna go and get some Nocco. I need the Nocco if I'm gonna keep talking a lot. CCIV, a mean reversion long? No. I don't see anything here. I don't see any. Oh, NIO losing to 100. Okay. Maybe. Wait. GME. It's too early to tell which ones are gonna be a market leaders. I think we're gonna have at least a few weeks of shop. But yeah, so far it's holding well. It's holding about the 10-day. Right now it's a champion. As is Snapchat and Pinterest and some of the others, but it's too early to tell. My plan is to chill as much as possible, so it'll be fresh when the market turns good again. A lot of these earnings names are fading. Every single one of them is fading. Gap adopt, popped and fade. I think this arc, we're gonna see some type of flash crash in this arc. This thing has been, they're so, I mean, this thing is, I think there's something bad gonna happen. I just get it this. There's just too many weak hands. Just too many crazies holding this thing. And once they start seeing red in their accounts, it's gonna be interesting. I don't know, man. Everyone's hailing that Katie Wood as genius, but her team consists of there's a lot of like 20-year-olds. They've never seen a down market, and apparently they don't do a lot of research on a lot of these names either. Like unbelievable. They added Workhorse. It's just such an obvious scam. But the 20-year-old analysts, oh shit, my knock. So guys, do you think she's a bull market genius? Or is she gonna outperform other market cycles too? Because every time you get these fund managers that get hauled as geniuses, they never outperform again. You saw the same thing in the 2003 to 2007 bull market. You saw the same thing in the late 90s. You had these fund managers that were up like insane amounts. Their funds, AUMs went up like 100-fold, 200-fold, and they never outperformed again in their career. They were just at the right time in the right place with the right strategy. Like, I like her, like, she has the guts to bet on these, companies that are changing how we do things. But, buying something like Workhorse, it's like, are you even doing any analysis? Like, I mean, what's your process? Now, obviously, she's not involved in everything they buy. They buy and sell so many different things. Oh my god, this Riot looks like it wants to go to the 50-day. I missed the ad on GME. I was gonna add when it lost VWAP, but I was a bit too late. I'm so lazy, I'm so sloppy. Jesus Christ. I'm not the same trader I was 6 months ago, I can tell you that. Too much Hearts of Iron 4. I blame my computer gaming. Oh yeah, you could have added on GME sooner. Add whenever you want. Doesn't really matter. As long as you have a set risk. It's the money and the fame. Don't care about the fame, but yeah, it's definitely money. I don't really care about it, as much anymore. It's not gonna make much more of a difference. Yeah, being up 1500. No, actually, wait. No, being up 2000% in 14 months, yeah, that does things to motivation. That's true. That is very true. Yeah, and guys, if you're not listening to the market, if you're not paying attention what's happening in front of your eyes, if you're frenetic looking for breakouts right now, I mean, just look at what's happening in these earnings gappers, okay? They're all reversing. Look at how hard they reverse to the downside, every single one of them. That's not the one market you want to buy stuff on the long side. This is what I mean, listen to the market. Stop listening to opinions of other people. Listen to the market. That's the only, in trading, the only thing you should listen to is the market. No one else. No one knows anything. No one knows what's going to happen. But the market will tell you what it will do. It's your job to listen. Yeah, they will tell you. What I saw, well, it's been in front of my eye, you know, in front of all of us for the past couple of weeks. Obviously, you got all these stocks that were up thousands and thousands of percent, like stuff like as ZOM up 3,500% in a few months. Bingo up 2,500% in a few months. There were SNDL. This thing was up 2,000% in a few months. Like you have all these, like a lot of stocks just making big. These are extreme examples. Like these are like very low price stocks that, you know, made big moves. But you know, obviously, like a lot of things were up. Like everything was just straight up. Something like Baidu. It's a mega cap stock. You know, this was also, it was up 160%. And you know, it's just not sustainable. You know, things don't go straight up ever. For a while they can do. So that was the first big warning sign. A lot of extended stocks. You know, we've had a 4-month bull run where, like, you know, very profitable. A lot of big moves. The other thing was a lack of long setups. There were just not many good looking long setups. Everything was either very extended or sluggish, and there were no like solid bases in any stocks, pretty much. Very, you know, some random stocks here and there. That was the second one. The third one, that's when I started really aggressively selling things and getting short, was when these stocks started actually breaking down. They were starting to break the 10-day moving averages. You know, they started to break, you know, some stocks were high tide flagging, started breaking down. Stuff like Tesla, Plug, you know, I shorted with both hands. When you see high tide flags on already extended stocks, you know, that break down, that, you know, high tide flags, they usually make big moves in the direction they break. They break out, they make big moves to the upside. Break down, they make big moves to the downside. So, you know, the market has been screaming at us for several weeks that this was going to happen. All you had to do was to listen. And obviously it's kind of hard to know what to listen for if you don't know what you're listening for. But you know, with experience you will realize it's the same things over and over again. The same cycles repeat over and over again, and this is yet another cycle. That's what I meant, that a lot of people who thought they were good and profitable and consistent traders, they will find out that, hey, wait, something is different. I'm seeing red in my portfolio. Things are not going straight up anymore. Maybe I should call my boss and try to get my job back. But maybe I shouldn't have told him, fuck off, I'm gonna make more money trading than on this shit job. Maybe I'll have to apologize to him. That's the reality. Oh shit, GBTC, I have to get rid of this thing. Just losing, I'm not gonna write it down to 0. Yeah, GBTC losing the 20-day moving average, and it's also taking out the lows of this bounce day here. It's not a good sign. It's not a good sign when these things lose their key moving averages. I'll rebuy it on a good setup, like I did several times. Initially bought it here. I sold it. I got shaken out somewhere here. Then I rebought it a few days later on this breakout here. And then I think it happened 2 times. And here again, I got stopped out, I think on this day. And then I rebought it here on this day. But there's gonna be a time when it's, you know, never comes back. It's gonna be a time. And that's what you have protective stops for. Because if you don't, you're not gonna last long in this game. Is Roku a good short setup? Yeah, it could be. Yeah, I actually forgot about this thing. This is one of the few leaders that hasn't really broken down yet, but it's gonna break down. If the market keeps gonna go lower, this thing is gonna go down as fast as it came up. But right now it's still holding the 50-day, and it has a big range here also. It's 380 area. I hope it goes sideways a bit more and then starts fading maybe. I hope it doesn't go down today. I hope maybe next week or something. I'm actually good eye. I forgot about it. Square, yeah, all the other leaders are actually going lower. Most of them. DraftKings wasn't an episodic pivot. It was an earnings breakout. Like it really didn't gap up that much, but it was a decent breakout setup with earnings. If it hadn't had earnings, I wouldn't even have touched it. But sometimes when things break out on earnings, even if the setup is not perfect, they can work really well. But again, you know, the market is just not the best right now, and you know, if you keep trying to buy breakouts in these markets, you know, those markets are the worst when you have setups, but they trigger, but they don't follow through, and you end up taking a lot of small losses. You can really decimate your account that way. So, you know, I've learned the hard way, so I'm very careful trying to buy anything. You had 20 consecutive losing trades in October? Yeah, the market was in a correction. Yeah, I also had a lot of small losses in October. I was a little bit too aggressive. Like the first part of the correction, let's go back to August, September. Like I nailed it. Like I sold most of my longs and I went heavily short here when the markets, when they rug pulled the market. Like this first couple of weeks of the correction, I made a lot of money. So I'm very happy about that. But the problem is I started buying too aggressively too early. So I got shopped around a little bit in, I would say like mid-October or so, mid-late October. I got a little bit, yeah, that you know, I was a bit too aggressive. I should have been, you know, much more careful. But then obviously the market turned and we got a lot of, like here, early November, mid-November, there were so many 5-star setups. A lot of stocks had been basing for months and months and building higher lows, and there were so many just absolutely amazing setups. Are you blaming the market correction on me? Yeah, it's funny. Every time I show P&L, the market goes to shit. And every time I end up with, I have 30 positions in my portfolio, the market goes to shit. Funny how it works. Lack of Nocco. I actually drinking Nocco now, but it's not as cold as it should be. So I forgot to put them in the fridge. Guys, always plan things out before. Make sure everything is prepared for the trading day. Not having ice cold Nocco when the market opens, not a good thing. It's like driving without the seatbelt. Don't do it. Pro tip. Is Nocco better than Monster? I like Nocco because there's no sugar in it. I know Monster also has some versions with no sugar, but I do like Monster too, but I don't think their sugar-free alternatives are as good as Nocco, sorry. I have no idea. Look, it's probably full of all kinds of nerve poisons. I'll probably get brain cancer in 10 years from drinking too much Nocco. But at least I won't get fat. That's the most important thing. And at least I'll also keep my teeth. Stevia? Is that some kind of nerve poison? I'm gonna fall off the edge of the world? Yeah. That's why I rarely leave the house. I'm so afraid of the edge of the world. Energy drinks are the worst for... Yeah, but not the sugar-free ones, right? Are the sugar-free ones also bad for your teeth? Hey, Fly W Maida, thanks man, I appreciate it. That's why I stream. I have to brush my teeth? Oh. I don't celebrate $10 million days, no. When I've had my first $10 million day a month ago shorting GME, it was pretty cool, but it wasn't like, wow. It's like, okay, makes no difference. It's just a number. It's at the point, it's just so unreal. Like the past 14 months, or actually not, yeah, 14 months. That's when the craziness started. I'm up 2000%. It's just like a video game. It's just unreal. It feels like Elon Musk says that must have been what he meant when he thinks we are in a simulation. Because when things are going so well, it starts feeling a bit unreal. And you always start to think, is this a simulation? Like, what's going on? Because I know I struggled so long trading. And even after I became like a decently successful trader, I still had these periods when I struggled a lot. Nothing was working, and you know, it was just a pain in the ass. And now the past 14 months came along, and it's just like picking up free money. It's unbelievable. It's just super crazy. That's also why I'm gonna be really careful, not doing any stupid stuff. I'm not gonna force any trades, because I know, things can turn sour very fast. And things usually always turn sour after a good period. I don't know a lot of things, but I do know that. And that's all you need in the markets. Easy money is followed by easy money making periods are followed by easy money losing periods. Rinse and repeat. That's all you need to know about the markets. You can stop this simulation. Sure. DM me your bank account. Why don't I take 15 or 20 million and put it in a risk-free asset? So you mean short GME is not a risk-free asset? My whole portfolio are risk-free assets. Long Fisker, short Baidu. Long GBTC, but this one I already sold. I don't know. Just kidding. Thanks, Lodbrook. Risk is not understanding what you're doing. Yeah, that's true. Do you think it was more beneficial to learn shorting? I don't know. I'm not sure. No, I started buying stuff. Shorting. I traded for like a year before I did my first short, or 2 years, a year and a half. Because I couldn't short with the Swedish brokers I was trading the US stocks with. I couldn't short with those brokers. So I remember I did my first, you know what? I think something bad is gonna happen. I don't know what. It's just, there's just too many like crazies that have been buying stuff over the past, in a very long time. I feel like there's gonna be something bad, like a waterfall decline. I just get this. I have no idea. I'm probably scaremongering, but it's just the feeling I get. And if it happens, I wanna be there. I'm actually gonna do some UXY on the long side, just in case. I'm probably gonna lose money on it. Like, I'm talking, this is a low probability event. This may be like a 5% chance it happens. 95% chance I'm gonna lose money on this trade. But if it happens, I'm gonna make it big. If it doesn't, I'm gonna lose more. It's probably maybe 98.2. I don't know. I'm just, talking a bunch of bullshit here. It's just, I don't know. We've seen it before. Like these things happen sometimes. We'll see. Again, I have no idea. Didn't see short Baidu. You didn't see what? Short Baidu? It's just another stock that's been going up for a while. Look at how nice it's been surfing the 20-day, and now it lost the 20-day. And this, if you look at it, it's pretty much the opposite of a bull flag. It was a bear flag, right? Lower highs broke this range. Now imagine if it had been the opposite, then it would have been a long setup. So, next stop I think could be the 50-day. We'll see. Yeah, retired people who missed the entire bull run from 2009 to 2019 and now taking out home equity loans to buy stocks. Yeah, I've heard those stories too. That's how the stock markets work. People get in, a lot of people, they just can't buy when things are cheap and when the odds are with them. And then when things go up for many years, then they can't resist buying. And that's when the odds are against them. That's when the base rates are heavily against them. We already went to the moon, I think. At least in a lot of stocks. But it's too early to tell. Like, yeah, anything can happen. You know, we could like, this could be the lows, and we could you know, have these crazy 1000% runners again next week. No idea. I'm just following what I see right now, and what I see right now is not great. Not great. But also it's healthy. You know, if you get a real washout, that's gonna set up for more upside later. The best time to buy is after correction. Buying stocks after correction, like when you start getting good setups again, after the market has bottomed, it's free money. But the key is to not lose your money during the correction. That's why rules are so important. I'm talking strictly about trading, not about investing. If you're an investor, you should buy more if the market dips. But you also should have multi-decade time frame. But as a trader, you have to avoid the bad periods, and you have to be aggressive in the good periods. Yeah, no alerts triggered during the open. I think it was the same yesterday. No alerts triggered during the open. That hasn't happened in like since 2019 or maybe February, March last year. It's insane. Also, a bad sign. Another proprietary indicator we have in this community. If no alerts trigger in the first 30 minutes, you have to be careful. My net short percent, I have no idea. Maybe 100% maybe? No, not 100, maybe 85% or so. Yeah, I'm about 85% short and about less than 10% long. Yeah, exactly. I know the 30 positions indicator. It's been right. It's happened 3 times in the past since last year. It happened, yeah. So it happened here just before the market topped in February last year, and we got the COVID crash. That's when I hit 30 positions after a multi-month bull run. It happened here in August, late August last year, after we had a multi-month bear run, and then we had a big rug pull. A lot of the momentum stocks were down, you know, much more than the index. And it also happened like a couple of weeks ago. It's such a great indicator. It's unbelievable. Every time I hit 30 positions, time to start taking profits. It's kind of interesting. We have fewer people in here today than yesterday. I thought there was going to be a lot of more people in here after the chat with traders. Yeah, the chat with traders is apparently not posted on YouTube yet, but if you go on the web page, it's there. Well, because we only talked about one of my 3 setups specifically. We only talked about the breakout setup. It's on Spotify? Really? Yeah, that's one of the things I wasn't really good at explaining on the podcast. Pretty much, a breakout happens when the stock is breaking a range on the daily and the 60-minute. That's a breakout. It doesn't matter what candle it is. Like, just buy the breakout and use the lows of the day. I should have just said that. Instead, I started talking about the 1 minute, 5 minute, 60-minute, because it's the time frames I use on my charts. But it would have been better if I just said that. Like, when it breaks the range, you buy it. If the market conditions are right, the setup is right, and then you use the lows of the day as a stop. I kind of complicated it. I give myself a 4 out of 5 on that interview. But yeah, I could have simplified it a little bit. But I haven't listened to it myself. I just remember some of the things I said. And there you go. That's what happens when you randomly buy something like UVXY. This is the candle you get. Oh, did I buy the top? I bought the top. Fucking loser. Oh man. That's what happens when you get too bearish in this market. You get a stick in your ass. Oh well, whatever. As I said, it was a low probability event. Oh, it's too funny. That's what's so great about the markets. If you're wrong, the market will tell you right away. Oh, so stupid. Yeah, on to the next one. On to the next one. What I think about prop trading firms, SMB Capital. As a successful trader, I don't see a point in being in a prop firm. Like why? Like why? You don't need their capital, and why would you want to give a bunch of your profits to them? I just don't see the point. As an aspiring trader, it's nice to get a community and surround yourself with semi-decent traders, but I just don't. As a successful trader, I just don't see the point why anyone would be in a prop firm. Other than if you're like a really social person, and you can't just you can't be alone. in an office, like at home, for example. Um, I'm covering some Riot here. I did add a little bit because it looked it was gonna lose the 20, but now it's reclaiming the 20. So I'm actually covering. I'm covering what I shorted, and I'm also covering some of what I had since before, because now it's kind of reclaiming the 20. No gaming during market hours if you're in a prop desk. Yeah, guys, you should reconsider your life if you're on a prop desk. No gaming. How can they not allow gaming during trading hours? Like when the markets are slow, what are you supposed to do? Yeah, that's a big deal breaker. Yeah, I guess that's their business model. You always have to do something. You're only good to them if you make trades. That's the problem. You're a product. I'm gonna tell you a secret, guys. Keeping yourself busy with something completely different when there is nothing to do, that's an edge. That's an edge. If you're gaming, you could say you're researching company product. Yeah. That's true. You're doing research. You're doing deep fundamental research on a company. Like for example, I play Hearts of Iron 4 right now. A lot of Hearts of Iron 4. Paradox Interactive. It's a Swedish company. The Paradox Formula. People, fans, and brands. Yeah, they've done a really good job. They have really good products. The games have really fanatical following. And they're very addictive, super hard to get into, but once you get their games, they're super addictive. Our products. Yeah, Paradox investors. Let's look at their numbers. Report. Let's see here. Revenues. Wait. Okay. decent growth. You know what I would like to do? Start a gaming company and start like a franchise like they have. Like they're specialized in certain types of games. That would be really cool. Have a small company like 50 employees or something and have a like a franchise. You know, every 3-4 years you release a new game. That would be so cool. That's something I would like to do. But I have no skills in development and in programming and stuff like that, so I would be useless. The most useless gaming company CEO ever. That would be so cool. What's this? Lords of Cheese? Okay, I need to watch this. What's this? They play Stockholm Syndrome. They're playing a game called Lords of Cheese. No, sorry. No, wait. The game. Okay, Age of Wonders. Never mind. I thought the game was called Lords of Cheese. Start a gaming interface, a gamify the trading app. There's already one. It's called Robin Hood. It's designed to take money from the poor and give it to the rich. Look at some of these. Some things are finding support on their rising moving averages. I'm thinking like stuff like this ICL and is some kind of a clean energy ETF. I guess a lot of solar stocks and stuff. Like they're finding some support on the rising 100-day and building higher lows. Also, this TAN is building higher lows. But it's too early to tell. Again, it's too early to tell. Is this gonna result with the upside or the downside? This could be like a bear flag in the making. So it's too early. Like I just don't see. Again, like it's not the time to be aggressive either on the long or the short side. Like a couple of weeks ago, we had some really good short setups, and last week, and then they worked, and now there's just nothing, really not much to do. Oh, UVXY, I'm out. I'm gonna stalk this UVXY. You never know. One of these times, you know, you get a big move. This thing, you know, UVXY wants the, you know, you get some fear in the markets. This thing can double in a flash. You never know. I just don't see much right now. CD Projekt, they kind of ruined their image. They kind of ruined their perfect image. They're not consistent. Yeah, Snapchat is really Pinterest too. But again, it needs a setup. There's nothing. But yeah, so far it's a champion. It's holding the 20-day. Roku is also very strong. It's still below the 50, but yeah, it's too early to say anything about anything. It's just this is the time to lose money if you get a too strong bias in either way. Some of these earnings names are starting to come back a little bit. We'll see. There is some bid in these names now. Da, 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 da. Yeah, Twitter is strong too. Wix. Yeah, I know this one. Didn't it? Yeah, it broke out a couple of weeks ago here. Look at this. Look at how tight it got. Found support on the 200-day, and then it had this range breakout candle. This is called a pocket pivot. And yeah, it's the same setup I bought on TDoc here, also pocket pivot. It got really tight, was surfing the 200-day. Now it did close weak, kind of weak that day. It would have been a nicer candle if it closed stronger, but that was one of my biggest winners on the long side this year. And then I sold it when it closed below the 20-day. And look at it now. That's why rules are so important. The rules are going to determine if you're going to be a winner or a victim. And the market will make you a victim very quickly if you don't have rules. You don't ever want to be a victim. You see what I just retweeted? This David Tantarelli. Like, he's a really good follow, experienced trader, really like rule focused. He's a bit longer term than I am. Look at what he just tweeted. That's exactly the same thing I said earlier today about ARK. It's the same things. Every bull market, you have these funds or groups of funds that can do nothing wrong. And they get to go on TV, and everyone think they're, oracles and geniuses, and then that cycle ends, and they will never outperform again, ever. RKT, I wouldn't wait. RKT, I'm not sure. Like, only if it takes out the highs of the day. But the stop would have to be very wide, like It would be best if it closes strong and goes sideways a few days. Julian Komar. I used to follow him. Yeah, I mean, look, he has some good stuff. ARKX? What is ARKX? Is it another... well, obviously it's an ARK fund. But what are they focused on? Space? Yeah. It's gonna be a copy of the existing on this. Wait, what fund is it? They're pretty much gonna make a copy of an existing ETF, but they're gonna take like 5 times the fees, just because it's ARK, and people will happily buy it. What's the ETF? Aerospace? Is it the Aerospace ETF? One of these maybe? It's gonna be mostly the same stocks, but just, you know, disgustingly expensive. Top risk management book recommendations. If you follow the link on the screen, you will find out what books I recommend. UFO? They should actually... That would be... Is there a ticker called UFO? Oh, look at that! They're UFO! Oh, that's just really good. Can't make it up. What stocks are there? UFO? Wait. What? So if I search for UFO here... ETF? Wait. Why can't I find UFO here? That's super weird. How do you see the holdings in this thing? I know you can do it in a... do you click one of these? Wait. Here? No. Hey guys, help me. How can I see the holdings in this UFO? I think there's a button here. Watch lists. Watch lists. UFO member of. I don't know what you mean. Man, this is too complicated. I know there's a button. You can see the holding somewhere here, but I can't figure out how. I know I've done it before. Whatever. Who cares? There's probably some defense and airspace related stocks in that ETF. Wild guess. Yeah, there should be a button here, right? If I go to ARKK, there used to be a button here, right? Or am I crazy? Oh, there it is. Wait, I found it. Oh, there's no button here on UFO. But if I go to ARK, there is. That's the button I was looking for. Yeah, there's no button here. But if I go to ARKK, the button is here. You can see the holdings. Okay. Man, I thought I was going crazy. I knew there was a button there. But not on UFO. How weird. Is it not classified as an ETF in TC2000? Something is weird. There's a Okay, some things are starting to shape up a little bit for now. We'll see. Anyway, I'm gonna cut the stream now. There's no point in watching. There's no edge doing anything right now. I think at least we need, at least a few more days of information. It's too early to tell. Yeah, thanks, guys. Hope you have a great weekend, and I'll see you on Monday. Good luck, everyone. Don't forget to put in a lot of work during the weekend. That's the only way you're gonna make it in the. It's during the weekends. That's where your edge is honed. It's not watching, trading shopping markets. That's not where you get an edge. You get an edge by sitting there and doing things most people are not willing to do. That's where edge comes from. Okay, guys, good luck. See ya.